remember, whenever you have a new so-called position or you introduce something new to the particular job, maybe you apply now, let's say in accounting department, suddenly they buy let's say maybe a new software. In the past, maybe they use manual one, or you use Excel. Now you use a new software, then you have to amend your so-called your job analysis. Based on the job analysis, then you will amend your job description. Job description, information must come from job analysis. Always remember that. Huh? Like I mentioned, many companies don't do job analysis and they have a job description because of the shortcut. Okay? And job analysis also can provide you information for your job description, for your job specification, and also subsequently for your so-called job evaluation. You all heard about this term, job evaluation, also in HR, job evaluation. Okay? And job analysis also form a very important piece of information for job performance. Good job performance must rely on job analysis also. Okay, as we go to job analysis, job performance that time, I will share with you how and why many companies, when they do job performance, ended up the employees are not happy. I will explain to you when we study that particular area called job performance. So now you will look back into the assignment number 1, because I want you to start thinking about that already. Oh, you're doing. Oh, okay. Later on, I will download it. I'll upload it. Don't worry. Let me just read to you. See, initially, I mean what you call so that you get the first-hand understanding. Assignment 1 is talk about the critically. You critically do what? Discuss the role. You critically discuss the role. Assignment 1 is wanted to discuss the role. Okay, the role of what? The role of job analysis. JA. The role of job analysis in what? In enhancing. That means to make it better. In enhancing the staff recruitment strategy. Then how can the role of the job analysis enhance, improve, enhancing your staff recruitment strategy? Staff recruitment strategies. Okay. Very simple question to me. Discuss how can job analysis enhance your recruitment strategy. You all know recruitment, recruitment is, it can be internal recruitment, it can be external recruitment also when you talk about recruitment strategy. Okay, when you have a position, how do you enhance this recruitment strategy? So how do you approach this particular so-called assignment? I do not give you say that you must talk about what position. No position is mentioned here. It's just only a recruitment strategy, that's all. So you may talk about in general first, in your introduction, what do you mean by job analysis? What do you mean by job analysis? In a few simple sentences. I'm looking at introduction. How do you approach? One good way will be you talk about introduction. In the introduction, you talk about what do you mean by job analysis? Few words, few sentences. Then, what do you mean by recruitment strategies? What do you mean by recruitment, staff recruitment? Correct enough? Then in your proper discussion, in your subsequent body, in your proper discussion, then you can identify one way to talk about to enhancing. When you see question like that, even in your other assignment, when you see question like to enhance something, how do you approach it? How do you emphasize? How do you emphasize some important aspect of something? Let's say, for example, give you a simple example to make you understand. Because when you talk about to enhance, that means you want to talk about improvement, to strengthen, to emphasize. You understand what I'm trying to say? To improve, to emphasize, because you emphasize the important, so then you work on something on improvement, correct enough? Let me ask you, in a normal situation, let's say, how would the girls want to emphasize to you? Let's say one girl invite you to her birthday party. You may know her, let's say, you met her 2-3 occasions only. 2-3 occasions. And she quite like you, for example, but she cannot tell you. And then she said that, oh, my birthday party is coming in 2 weeks' time. And she want to invite you because she is quite proud that she want to, invite you, try to get to know you more, or try to allow you to know more about her, right? How should she emphasize the importance that you should go for the birthday party? Come on. Because I want you to start thinking. Then from that thinking process, then I say, you may be able to apply that way of, that method of preparing your assignment. How come on? Girls, how do you emphasize to a guy you met 2 or 3 times only, and you're not very close yet, but you feel good, you want to know more about him, and you feel nice that if he can attend your birthday party, how do you emphasize it to the guy? Or maybe let me ask the guy, 3 of you. If the girl wanted to invite you there, and you may say that, yeah, I just know her only ma. Even though you may not have a boyfriend, you may say, okay lah, I think kinda can go lah, But you're not very serious whether you want to go or not, because you say, going to there, maybe you have to buy some present, correct? You cannot say you go and empty-handed. And she may be not 100% your taste lah, for example, but since you have no girlfriend, you say, okay lah, can go also okay, don't go also no problem, correct? From the guy's perspective, I'm saying that, that's your feeling. But to that girl, she feel that, she want to get to know you more. She'll be proud to have you at her birthday party. How would the girl emphasize that you shouldn't miss the birthday party? Come on, girl. Then we will listen to the answer. If you apply that kind of thing, whether the guy buy the idea or not. Come on, 4 of you. You know the background already, right? How? If you were to be that girl, how would you emphasize to the guy, hey? But you cannot be too direct, ma. You meet him only 2 to 3 times only, ma. You cannot say, hey, I like you lah, this thing, because girl, assuming you're a little bit more reserved, that kind of type. Correct? Even though your action will show something, but the guy did not react anything to your action. Say, okay, knowing 2 to 3 months only, knowing 2 to 3 times only, the guy gets so excited. You can see he's not so excited, but you are quite excited. Let's say the girls are quite excited about him. How will you emphasize to the guy that he should not miss your birthday party? Come on. Guy, listen, see what how she express out so that you feel that actually she meant different from what you think. Do you know? Never mind, imagine. One day you get to know the guy 2 to 3 times only. You met him occasionally, maybe in the classroom you met him. Then after that you never see him. Maybe after 1-2 months later, because he dropped the subject, then 1-2 months later you met him in the campus. Oh, he's somewhere in the other class, right? Then you meet and hello. Then maybe the time so happen you're in the cafeteria, you buy something. When you eat something there, he also passed by there and say, hey, sit down, let's. But you have a good impression about the guy. And you want to know him more. You'll be feeling proud if he can attend your birthday dinner or birthday party. But on the other side, the guys is not thinking, having a feeling as what you have, not so strong feeling on that. The guy, if you invite me, okay lah, go, not free, don't go, also can, that kind of thing. But to you, your requirement is different. He must come. Imagine, tell me now. I want to see how creative you are. So maybe you may think, okay, that way I can apply it in doing my assignment. We are talking about method. There are many methods, but just share, come on. Must give 4 answers. Sorry? Come on. Not so difficult to share. There's no right or wrong thing, I told you already. It's what you think. Then maybe after you share, then other students share, then next time you say, hey, maybe other students' way combine my way may be fantastic. Then we ask the guy and see whether does it really, create that kind of so-called urge or needs that you feel that, okay lah, go lah, don't miss lah.
Special invitation.
So must listen to the girl first.
Don't know.
Sorry?
Don't know.
Don't know. No, imagine. It so happened that time, this guy, not very close, but you feel that I want to know him more. I want to get people to know him more. I'll be proud to know him more. Hey, young girl, sometimes you see some K-pop or whatever, they come to KL, you can even miss the class and go and buy ticket and go and airport go to this thing Try to go even near. Take picture also okay already from far. I know the person walk, take picture and show your friend already.
Ask friend to invite.
Sorry?
Ask his friend to come together, like invite together.
Ask his friend to come together. Okay, let's say guy, 3 of you listen. Let's say she want to know, then the girl tell you, hey, bring your friend along on that day during my birthday party. Would you be so committed, say, I will definitely be there. In the initial place, you met the girl only 2 years, and you are not to say having the kind of a urge to go on. You understand what I'm trying to say? Is that friend just say like that, you know little bit only. But the girl think differently, And then she said that, hey, bring your friend along on that day. What would be in your mindset? You will commit to make it, or you say, okay, I have nothing to do really, maybe I go. What is your commitment in your mind? he will say, Inshallah, I go there. That means that by God's will, correct or not? If the day cannot go, God tell me to go, you know. But to her is must come on, except she cannot say must, she cannot use the word. She'll say, please come now, you know, the day I think will be good and all this thing, What do you think? Don't worry about her. What would you do? Would you be so committed, say, I will go?
Don't know.
I mean, like, for me, it's better for me to have a friend with me. Especially
Sorry?
if it's a new environment, I think it's better for me to have a friend next to me. Like,
Would you go? My question is,
How?
if your friend don't go, you also don't go.
Tak.
Huh?
No, I'm not going.
Not going. If you say invite your friend, then the friend say, I don't know her lah, I don't want to go lah. Then also 100% you will go. Okay, good. No, nothing wrong. What about for you? Same thing. You? Well, everybody says follow one. Then girls, how would you emphasize more? That you feel, what do we go?
Don't come.
Very susah for you, you know. How do you do it?
Don't know leh.
Huh?
Very hard leh. So this
What is that? What is
question.
that?
No, this question very hard leh.
No, it's not very hard. Girls are very good in this thing one. I know. Except they all don't want to share only.
Share.
How to do it? Then if he really don't want to go also, he feel, at the end he feels so susah also. Even though you all did not know each other very well, but since you have that kind of what do you call it, I won't use the word urge, you have that kind of a so-called intention to want to get a little bit deep, get to him, know him more, understand what I'm trying to say. And you'll be proud if he can come. And since you have no boyfriend, then sometimes your group may tease you, no boyfriend, then I say, no. This time, I'll definitely bring one guy one. Correct or not? And then it so happened you're very lucky you met that guy maybe few times, 3 times only. And your other gang, the other groups of girls never see him before. You say, don't tell lie lah. You say. Last time also flying kite one, you say you bring a guy. Now you talk. This time also you talk only. But then that's why you have that kind of a so-called what do you call I wouldn't use the word needs also. Then you have to say show off to your friend already. You know what I'm trying to say. See? If not, they will joke you. You already say 2 times or 2 years already. Now you also continue to say that, and then you say you recently met a guy, and you really quite want to know him more. Bring him. Correct or not? You know, girls sometimes they will say that, like this one. Especially you never see that. You're in the same group. You never see that guy. You'll be quite eager and looking forward to see that you bring that guy. Correct or not? Then how would you say that? So that at least little high chances the guy will come. What he said, your one is 50-50 lah. My friend don't come. Don't want to go along, don't go. This is what you tell him, you give him the kind of option. How do you emphasize it so that he feel, want to refuse also in his mind, he have to struggle like crazy. Hey, very useful one, you know. Come on, girls. I want you to be creative because when you do assignment, sometimes students got stuck, you know. I want to see how creative you are, that's all. Because there's no point I tell you straight away how to do it, then no thrill. You will never remember. Don't feel shy. How come all of you so shy? I cannot understand. But in your heart, you quietly say, please tell me lah, please tell me the answer lah, please tell me the answer lah. But you tell me first, come on. Because I'm not talking about a girl thing. I want to use that creativity to see whether then you feel that, okay, sometimes I can approach my assignment also using this way. But of course I don't expect everybody to do it this way. I'm just give you a hint to start first. If not, sometimes you get stuck. Huh? Come on. Before we can move on, waiting for all of you only. You say, then boy has to respond one, you don't worry. Not to worry that they sit here listening only. Who want to start first?
I talk already.
Okay.
No.
You see, come to this kind of thing very susah, but among themselves they talk, you know.
No.
They talk to each other. You see lah, I win this time, 2 times already I mean, this time 100%. Okay, come, share something.
Tell him his brother has also gone.
Tell him
His brother
also
got come to the party.
also coming. But how do you know his brother coming?
Invite also
Oh, you asked him to invite his brother.
No, I invite his
brother and
But you
then
do not know his brother, ma? How to invite him? You met him only two, let's say 3 times only, ma. One time maybe just in the classroom on the first week you come to test and see whether I want to take this subject or not. So when you met him in the class, then when I call the name, then during the break you say, what is your name, Mr. So and so or something. Then you develop some kind of impression, how nice he can be in the same class with me for this semester. But then second week, he dropped this class already. He took other subject which you did not take, even though in the same campus. Then suddenly one day you met him along the corridor, maybe in the student lounge there. Then you approach him or he approaches you, hey, hi, wow, good to see you. You dropped the subject already. Let's say you are the one who have interest. Then you say, you dropped the subject, why? Then he say, no. I think because of clash, I need to take other subject. That's it. Then you say, wow, how nice, if I can get to know him more. But you have no opportunity. Previously, you never know him. Then the time, maybe in the cafeteria, so happen you sit there, or maybe he was sitting there eating alone. Then you see him, you want to know him, you could purposely go and buy some food also. You say, can I join you? He say, okay. Then chit-chat for a while. Right? Then you know, it's like you know him for the third time already. The time is a little bit more, but you do not know him more. You still want to know him more. And then you go back and tell your girl already, hey, your girl say, hey, bring your girlfriend, your guy, your boyfriend introduce her. I say, no, I don't have, but never mind, maybe there's one I met. I think quite nice, this guy, quite handsome. I quite like him, but only know him a little bit only. Then your friend will challenge you, bring 2 years you talking now, since you know somebody, bring and let us see correct enough? Then you say, okay, no problem, I'll invite him. You told your friend, if he doesn't come, what happen? What happened? What happened? What will your friend say? Ayo, fly kite again, last 2 years say. This time say again, say, miss somebody, ayo. Then you feel bad, correct or not? You told your friend already, you feel bad. Or put the other way around also can. Guy, now it's your turn. Same thing, you met a girl, like what I told you, the same situation. And this guy is quite charming. You say, wow, how nice if I get to know her more. First time in the class. Wow, so many in the class, you saw this girl. Oh my goodness, I get to know her more. So you do your best during break time to approach her. Because let's say, assuming I cover the name, or when you see the attendant, then you know, okay, roughly this girl. You want to know. Second week, she didn't take this subject. You take this subject, hopefully to see her. Right or not? She's not there. And you cannot simply ask her, who's that girl? Then people say, why? you also feel, embarrassed. You just keep quiet to yourself. You try to watch around this. When can I see this girl again? Correct? And you're very lucky. Maybe week number 3, you saw her in the student lounge, sitting there. You approach her. Then she talk to you for a few minutes. Then she know, hi, I'm going to class already. Then she, how I wish you can be here longer. You miss a second time. Third time, in the cafeteria, she sit alone there. You purposely see her, oh, she's there, good lah, alone lah, no friend, no boyfriend some more. Okay lah, you also say you want to go and buy some food, take the food there. Enjoy. Hello, can I join you? The guy will say there. You say, okay, no problem. Food, at least it will take 20, 30 minutes, but you eat, you talk, then you know a little bit more. Then say, no, not bad, this girl. And you go back, tell your other guy already, very close friend, hi, yeah, this time, last time 2 times you laugh at me. This year, my birthday, I will definitely bring one girl and show you. Very charming girl. You tell your friend. Birthday dinner, birthday party, they say, hey, Patu, where's the girl you promised to bring one? I don't know, wait and see, maybe she'll come later, and I don't see, But I call her, no reply, I don't know whether she's coming or not. Then your friend will say, Ayo, Patu, you keep telling only, you fly kite 1 or 2 years, you told us like that. This year also you are so confident. You see, correct or not? Guy will always do like that one. Girl also same thing one. Wow, talk, never bring. You want to keep it to yourself only. I cannot even bring her and show something like that. What would you do, guy? That you have a strong person in your heart. That day your birthday party, you see that. You want to see whether she's there or not. Since you told your friend already, you want to be so proud and introduce already, so that you can get to know more also. What can you do? Sometimes they are very creative also. What would you do? Don't know
What do you
Can
do?
you repeat the question?
Repeat the question. The question is, you as a guy,
So we got really like.
yeah, how would you invite a girl? And then the way you invite a girl, you'll be quite, at least not 50-50 that she will come. At least she may, your hope will increase to maybe 80%. Instead of inshallah, she tell you like that, then you know she will never come on, correct or not? But this time it's about 80%. Since you already commit to your friend already, you told your friend last 2 years during your birthday you want to bring, ever bring. Now you tell your friend will say, hey, this year bringing any girl or not? You say, yeah, this year no problem. Recently I just met one girl. Very charming, I'll bring her. You're so confident, you're so proud. Then on that day, definitely in your heart you'll be beating very fast on. Wow, party 8 o'clock, 7:30, still no sign of the girl yet. 8 o'clock haven't come, call. How come no answer? Then you will tell yourself, I think maybe she's busy maybe she's busy doing homework she's busy assignment You give all sorts of reasons to yourself but your friend will not Your friend said, don't tell lie again now. Who will go out with you ding dong and so on. Then during the process of invitation, how would you invite? They say that, oh, bring your brother along. Just now I asked you to say, what brother? My brother. Forget about it. No, you never go. No intention to go. Now, if you are a guy, what would you do to increase your chances?
So what will you do?
Huh?
What will you do?
No, I asked young people before.
We cannot.
No, because some students, they are fantastic, They make a strange girl. After getting to know the girl 1 or 2 times only, can invite the girl one, No, that's why I asked this question a few times already to other subjects, students. That's why I say they can think, you also can think one. You must learn this thing, Last semester, I mentioned something quite similar to one student. The student, very creative. Even before I mentioned, The student, very good, you know. The student somehow come from ELM. He's not doing business psychology. His main campus is there. He came to here, was in my class, first short semester, first time he came here. First week I taught him in the first week he was absent. You know, week number 1. Week 2 I met him in ELM. Then week number 3 he said, sir, can I come to your in the Subang 2 campus? I said, why not? You haven't been there. No. So he came in to my class. Guy only, no girls. Okay? Then somehow one of the students that I think 2 or 3 students that I was a supervisor for them, ladies, Then sometimes in between the class break, then they want to ask me questions. I say, come in, no problem, come to the classroom, so that it's a break time, let's say 9:30 to 9:45, so that they can sit down. And this guy, very, what they call, how to say, take the initiative to get to know them. Right? Then they go out and all this thing. Then after that he told me, wow, Subang 2 not bad, I wish I knew from day 1 to come and enroll, in Subang 2, so many pretty girls here, and because in Eon not so many now, the number is very small, in Eon, unfortunately Then second week, he got a motivation, must not miss class 1 I'm telling you, it's a true thing. He came to the class. Then it so happened, the student, the one that I supervised, one of them also came in, and then that student also doing final year project, so he had to conduct some survey. So he asked the girl, my student, asked them, no, my student, the one that I supervised, not in the class student, see only for a short while, only 10-15 minutes, not like you're sitting there, you can get a lot of opportunity. So exchange said, I do questionnaire for you, you answer my questionnaire, so that they get to know. Then he went out there, he saw other girls, which is the friend of this one, also approached them, he took the initiative. And he never missed classes, I tell you honestly since then. Always come to this thing. And at the end he was so happy, he said, wow, I didn't know, he keeps saying that, took the initiative. But of course I didn't ask him exactly the same question I asked you, see. Other class, I asked them before. 1 or 2 students give me a very creative idea. One come from the girl, especially very creative. So, if you are a guy, what would you do? Hey, this is your opportunity, you say, ayo, if I don't, tell your friend say, I tell lie talk big only. Guy will always use that word, correct? Talk big only, 2 years also problem, right? This time say you meet quite a charming, quite nice girl, what you bring, you see, you talk only, you think like that. Same thing for girls. What would you do? Do know? No creativity. Maybe girls different. Girls say that, I wait for the guy to approach me one.
Straight away go Wait what? Straight away go Wait here, wait. Like wait. Then no.
You know the girls, the student, very creative, told me, when you want to invite that guy, you know only each other third time, then the fourth time just cross the, because the girl has an interest in the guy, the girl say that 2 weeks later, on the maybe Friday or Saturday night, my birthday, I would like to invite you to come. Please come. If you don't come, you see, the emphasis was, if you don't come, what happened? The girl said that if you don't come, you may miss half of your life. Wow. If the girl tell you like that, then what would you do? You may not really like her so much, but you also okay lah, get to know more about her also okay. The girl tell like that. And I asked the guy in the class. The guy said that, wow, if that girl told me like that, 95% I will go. 95% I will go. Why? The guy said that I lose nothing, maybe I go there, I can meet her other friends, which may attract me more. Correct? The guy's intention is different now. Since the girl already says so much that, and the girl is quite okay. And the girl is, girl approach guy like that, guy is very hard to resist one, correct or not? If she tell you, you don't come, next week you'll never see me in the class.
Wow, really
I hope your father ask you for dinner. You say, no, I got the important dinner already, cannot. I have to do assignment, maybe you tell whatever lies to do. Am I right? What do you think? Is it not true? No? You see why I want to use this thing? Sometimes to emphasize something, you have to talk about the negative impact to strengthen your emphasis. Understand? Because I came across students last time in the exam. You ask them to talk about this, they keep talking about this thing, but sometimes the impact is not there. If the girl tell you, you don't come, you'll never see me in the class again with you. Well, the guy will think, I don't know how many hundred times, you miss half of your life. The guy will say, no loss lah, since the girl is missing, go. Am I right? So when you approach assignment like that sometimes, they say to enhance the staff recruitment strategy. They mean to enhance means to improve, to strengthen, to make it really helpful to work on the staff recruitment side. Look for some of the negative side there. If job analysis was not properly carried out, if the question asks you, if job analysis is not properly carried out, in which way it can affect the recruitment strategy? You say it in the negative way. Correct, no? And then you also can talk about the positive way. So if the girl can tell you, you may miss half of your life. Some more, my group of members, all of them are very pretty one, they all don't have girlfriend. Oh my goodness, guy will definitely almost at 99% go already. Am I right? Unless you have a girlfriend, it's a different story lah. Girls, what do you think if the guy tell you like that? Hey, my group of friends, come lah, if you don't come, you'll never see me in your class again or something. Guy tell the girl lah, come lah, and for your information, my this thing, fantastic guy, I tell you, you will never regret. If you don't come, you will regret. They tell you the negative side. You don't come, you regret. Would you go? High chances or not? Tell me. Rather than say, I invite you to my birthday party lah, next Tuesday lah. Correct or not? You think, never mind lah. If I don't want to know him, I can maybe know somebody also mah.
True.
True or not?
True.
Yeah. So please, don't just only talk about enhancing. Sometimes you hit the wall. You talk about the other way around. Then you also talk about this way, direct way. Then you get a better, answer for it. I have no choice. I have to use girl and boy so that you remember until the end of the so-called this semester at least, or maybe until you finish your study. Yeah. So that in future you come across, they talk about this thing, you have to talk about if I don't do it, what happened? Clear? Because I'm sorry to say that. Why? Because in the past I leave it to students, especially with the final exam. Students always hit the wall, Sir, only 1 point only. I say, how come only 1 point only? Cannot talk more, man? No more. Okay? So I leave it to you. How creative you are. You understand now, The role, that means the role that the job analysis play, that can help you to enhance. Enhance can be quite broad, can be improve, can help you to emphasize. Correct, no? Strengthen your staff recruitment strategy. That's why I told you this morning, the process of doing job analysis. I'll put up some, what you call the PowerPoint, but it's all bullet point. You need to do some research, okay? But quite a lot of things I mentioned in the class is in the PowerPoint video. the KSAO this morning I mentioned already. If you don't know the KSAO, what happened, I give you a lot of things already. And also emphasize what are the important things of doing job analysis. Correct or not? If you don't have knowledge, what happened? If you don't have a skill in this area, what happened? Then others, there are many things because different job got different thing. So in your discussion, in your body, you talk about this thing, quite detailed, then you can quote one or two example using some job function. Understand now? Job position. Then you can relate it back to emphasize it. You can relate it back. That's why you can see in the classroom, I always tell the student, when you see something, you say, I understand. You understand is one thing. How do I know you understand? Explain to me with examples. If you can explain to me with example, then at least whoever read this thing say, oh, I understand you better now. How you can apply that. Okay? Because assignment, I don't want to use the word, because if written exam, normally I put that, please provide examples in exam, because I cannot explain to them my question. Here I can explain to you. Correct or not? So please use 2 or even 3, up to you. Position, that link to strategy, that you think the way how you can explain by talking about job analysis will be good. So any position you can use to enhance your discussion. Okay? Any position you can use. So I give you a lot of freeway. Start thinking about that. Start thinking about that. You may have to go and do some research. You may have to think about certain job function that you think you have enough evidence to support your view. Okay? Because the purpose of assignment is not to fail your one. The purpose is to create that kind of creative thinking in you. How do you do it? So that next time you will remember the importance of job analysis and you will remember what do you like, staff recruitment strategies. Yeah? Okay? Any question on this part before I move on? No problem, huh? Think along that line. And if you have a question, don't just say, okay, you think along that line seriously. Maybe you can do some major heading or some bullet point before you write an essay. Then if you're not clear, then come to our other class, then you can share it out, then I can emphasize and see whether your direction is quite good or do not be stingy. Wow, I think mine is the best to share. Share, then other people also learn all these things. You are not competing with others. The more you share, sometimes you share something, the other person will share something, then when you put them together, your assignment becomes better. The school will be happy if you all get very good marks. No problem, what's wrong? Nothing wrong. Okay? So think along that line. Be serious, think about it, and then must be supported by reference articles. Don't say this is my idea, must be supported by. Because many published articles talk about the importance of job analysis, talk about recruitment strategy also. Some may not put the link together, they do it separately. So now you have to look and see how to link these two together. Okay? Clear, huh? Then in your mind you must start planning already. Number of words is how many words? 2,500, I think. Yeah, 2,500 words plus minus 10%. Last time minus 10%. Don't think that, oh, you're 2008, more than 10% cannot. No, I give you the leeway. Plus minus 10%. Okay, Of course, don't go and write a very short one. Since I say plus minus 10%, you say, oh, minus 2,250 is okay. No problem, no. Depend on the way how you write, how you emphasize. Okay? Good. And move on to one area, which is also very important, but I think in your HRM you may not talk about that. That is called job profiling. You all know what is personality profiling already, right? You all took the subject human personality already, right? Some of you completed the subject human personality, right? So, job profiling is a very interesting aspect. They look into the personality of the job. Job also got certain personality, but of course we don't call personality lah. That's why it's not 100% the word personality to describe the job. That's why they use the word called job profiling. Job profiling will look into the hard part of the job. This morning we said knowledge, skill, what I call ability and others. Correct or not? Job profiling will include another aspect is the so-called the behavioral part of the job. Maybe when I say that, it's very difficult for you to understand. Let me give you an example to clarify. One of the simpler way to clarify. Why this accountant, I'm saying that, why this accountant working for this company, report to the boss, maybe he worked there for about 5 years. He is quite okay, happy, no problem in the company. Suddenly, because he want to get married and then he has to move to another city. So very likely, she or he may have no choice to resign. Because after you get married, let's say you get a job in KL. Your future wife or your wife is in Johor. You will say that, hey, after getting married, I stay in KL, you stay in Johor. What happened? What happened? You stay in KL, working, all this while you have been working, and you met a girl. And it so happened, the girl come from maybe Johor area. You met him, and you said you met her a few times, maybe in KL or something, or in Johor, and she got a good job, and she has to take care of parents, let's say, like for example, for whatever reason. After getting married, let's say both of you decided to get married. After getting married, if she say that, I cannot leave Johor. You know what, sometimes girls got this thing because they have some obligation maybe to take care of their parents. Maybe she is the only child in the family. Correct or not? And maybe the father passed away, left the mother. And the mother may not be as healthy as they think, sometimes require something. And she has no other brother, but she's the only child. And then you work in KL. After getting married, you cannot say, okay, I continue work in KL, you continue to stay in Johor, only weekend, I go and see you. And certain weekend, you have some activity, you cannot go and see your wife. Do you think this type of relationship is very healthy? Study has done also this type of relationship. Easily more than 20% end up in divorce. Girl, can you take that or not? Cannot, You see, I didn't say that. Can you take it? No also, Guy may be okay lah, weekend can go happy, still single now. Okay? What would you do now if you are the accountant in KL? You have been working for that company 5 years. You're quite happy working there. You don't want to resign. Salary not bad. So now, because of this, your relationship with your wife, after you get married, high chances you may have to go and look for another job, accounting job in Johor. Correct or not? A different company. Salary could be almost the same or could be slightly better. Possible. Correct or not? When you look for a job, then you look for a better salary. Same thing doing a very similar function. Very similar function. Understand now? Your function as an accountant with a new company can be even 85-90% or even 95% very similar. But when you go to the new company and work, after maybe 6 months, 1 year, you are very unhappy there. What would be the causes? Not to say you do know how to do the job. 95% similar function. Prepare account, prepare money statement, prepare profit and loss, prepare all these things. You are capable. Your boss is quite happy here, and you know you can do it. You do it very well here. Over there, no problem with the job one. But after 1 year, 6 months, you are very unhappy already. You start looking for another job. What could be the reason behind that? This morning I told you one of them is your relationship with your boss, ma. Correct? Chemistry doing click, ma. You know the meaning chemistry doing click, ma. Other than that, what would be the problem? Somebody this morning said work environment. What work environment you are referring to? Sorry? Colleagues? Good. Colleagues. Colleagues make up part of the work environment. You have to liaise with maybe your colleagues in other department, or maybe in the same department you may require certain information from other people doing this thing one to pass it to you, correct enough, so that you can compile the information for your boss and so on. Yeah, it could be the colleagues, the relationship with the colleagues. What else?
Working time.
No, this thing happen very often. How come cannot think anymore? Nah? Don't worry, I will not hold you very long. It could be the organization culture itself. The whole organization culture is like that one. Not because of your boss. It's the whole nature of the organization. Maybe your boss expect everybody after work to go home. Must at least stay back 2 hours, 3 hours. You have nothing to do. You cannot tell boss, I want to go home. Then the big boss saw something. You finish your job. Oh, you're very fast. Nothing to do. Huh? Oh, yeah. Your boss will give you more job tomorrow. Since you are so fast. Possible? Possible. So some people have no choice to hang. Especially in the Japanese culture like that. We all know that. So be prepared. If you want to work for any Japanese company, I won't say all, most Japanese company, they will have that kind of culture. After work, if your big boss is there, and your own immediate boss is there, after work also you be sitting in front of a computer and do something. Whether you play game, you watch something, you have to be there. This is their culture itself. The boss haven't leave, you can say, good night boss, to see you tomorrow. The boss face will be very long already. You say, I don't care, but the boss face is still very long. One day, he may try to find problem little bit for you. He may quickly push you to do some project, give you a very shorter date to do, time to do, to make your life difficult. Understand? You cannot blame them. You cannot blame why Japanese are so crazy. Why? And after work, they don't go home also, maybe after 9 o'clock from the office, he cannot go home, I'm talking about the traditional, some of them still carry, but for a number of Japanese, they already get themselves exposed, then it's different. I must let you know, why? Why they cannot go home? Finish work, 9 o'clock, go home lah. Why they also don't go home? It is because the whole nation, all this while their culture is like that. If you go home early, 9 o'clock after finish work, go home, assuming you are the wife of that person, you say, how come you come back so early? Then you say, I finished my job already, Your wife sometimes don't tell you, but in his mind he was thinking, how come my neighbor living next door, the husband come back 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. This neighbor also same thing, Opposite one also 10:30, 11 o'clock you come home. You come back earlier, the wife feel very embarrassed now. Embarrassed for what? Either you are not an important person in the company, Other neighbors might see them, come and tell you second, hey, your husband can come home 9:30 or 9 o'clock one, Not bad, good, Then the way they say it, like this is, they are saying to doubt that your husband's capability. Because I took one subject in Japanese management, that's why I get to know all this thing. In the past, it's always like that. So ended up, what do? This is the next thing that we like. They are the one who invented karaoke. Go drink, sing, I sing, you sing, happy, you know, don't need to go home, da, 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 da. Your wife don't know whether you are in the office or what. As long as you come home late, very happy. And you walk little bit like, what they call drunken little bit. Your boss say, wow, must be meeting clients, having drink with clients or having drink with your boss. Wow. But the guy in the heart is terrible, you know, that kind of thing. So, if suddenly you work for an American company with that kind of organization culture, the whole environment like that, you change up to a Japanese, if you cannot cope, I tell you, you are finished. I work for a Taiwanese company, for multinational, big one, way back. I work in the company also have a manufacturing, doing a lot of manufacturing. I was in the office. The first MD, it was a new company, I must let you know so that you understand the thing. The first MD of the company, new setup. The MD is a Taiwanese, but he got his education from America, and he stayed in America for many years working there. And subsequently, he also worked for quite a number of American companies, big multinational companies. His mindset already tuned to the American way of working. So, because my company that time, when I work for the company, they are in the same industry, and we are the new setup. Definitely, company want to hire somebody who has very extensive knowledge in that industry to be the MD for the startup. He can speak good English. Taiwanese, you know, they hardly speak good English. So the Taiwanese boss managed to source something from a Taiwanese from America, put it there. So that work-wise, no problem. Technology, he understands the whole thing. He's the MD, no problem. When he was there, I was recruited. So I was quite happy working for him about 2 years. No problem. Everybody very happy. New startup, we also hire managers from Intel, from I think HP, because new startup, you want to quickly get the company moving, production already, so everybody was happy. Then, of course, you have to pay quite a good salary, you know, you get that kind of people. Then come third year, end of the second year, their contract the guy, the MD is on contract. So, no more contract, they hire another Taiwanese from Taiwan itself, from the mother company itself, maybe from our headquarters. Technology, no problem. Age almost the same. He came over to take over the previous MD's job. He came over and he was surprised to see a few things. Number one, how come finish work 5:30, 6 o'clock, most of the manager in the office are all gone. Factory still working like 24 hours. So in one of the meeting he said that, I don't know why you all have to leave so early, I believe you all haven't finished all your work, but there are a lot of things that you can do. He said a few things like that. People don't care, because we are used to the American way, better way, we don't care. Then slowly he very smart. We used to have a weekly meeting under the first American boss, the so-called American culture boss. Weekly meeting, maybe on Friday morning, 11 o'clock until about 12:30. This Taiwanese from Taiwan, the new MD, he came in, he said, working 5 days a week, Saturday no need to work, factory working, never mind. He said, meeting on Friday, wasting time, he said that, can we not change our meeting to Saturday? By right, Saturday we don't have to go on. Now, saying this thing, whole meeting on Saturday. So how? Everybody wants to go. Everybody, are you happy? Not happy, but you cannot say correct, Okay. In the first year, you can slowly see that, this manager, fantastic manager, previously from Intel, working 5 days a week, under MD first 2 years also get that job, resign. Another few months, another person resign. Slowly resign, Trying to get people, trying to get a new candidate, very difficult, because sometimes We thought that it's okay lah, no need to tell them Saturday meeting once a week only correct or not? Meeting morning, let's say about 9 to about 12 or something like that. So in the process of interviewing, we didn't tell the potential candidate. We said 5 days work week We thought meeting is only 2-3 hours If the MD not there, no need to have meeting So we hire people. People coming in the official letter is 5 days working. Unofficial is almost Friday and Saturday, few hours. What happened? Tell me. If you are a new employee, all this while you work 5 days, meeting also Monday to Friday, finish Saturday, finish. This one now like that. You are very good employees just because of the work culture, work environment. What happened? We lose employees. New recruit normally after 1 year or within 1 year, sometimes few months, people resign. And after that, some interview, I talked to the MD. I said, why can't we have it on the friend? He said, if you have it during working hour, wasting time During Saturday, 2 hours, 3 hours, okay, while you're not working anywhere, right? So, slowly, one by one, leaving. And the performance of the company, overall performance of the company, you can see that declining very fast. So, what happened? Because you don't share with the candidate the overall environment, the overall picture, the soft part. You cannot write on the contract you don't tell them. You are just like attracting them, cheating them to come in first. Then after that, not suitable, they get frustrated, they go. So job profiling is a very important aspect. Besides the job analysis, you talk about knowledge, skill and all these things. If you evaluate knowledge and all these things, very easy to evaluate. This part, you don't tell. People do not know. Unless you work inside there, by then it's too late. It's like after you get married only then you know the girl or you know your husband better. Too late already. Understand? Be very careful on this part when you talk about job. No, when we talk about IO industrial, we are talking about what IO? You help the company to improve the productivity and performance. I'll emphasize more on job profiling. I'll emphasize more how to do it, how to share this thing to the candidate. Sometimes it's impossible to put in writing one. You understand what I'm trying to say, is it? Then how to do it? Colleagues, relationship, your boss way of doing things is different. Same thing you experience with different lecturer. I told you this morning I mentioned some lecturer, one full stop minus half a mark. Let's say to me, I find it, hey, one full stop is not going to kill you. Correct or not? Forget to put a bracket. Hiya! So what? Important thing is the content. But some will look at it so detailed. This is what I learned one full stop, forget half a mark. The lecturer is so good until, hard copy, you circle around, minus half a mark. No bracket, half a mark. You add up, wow, a lot of marks disappear one. Same subject taught by different lecturer can have different effect. I came across, some student complain on lecturer open the slide, read the slide only now. Read the slide until the end. Or read some of the textbook, the text, read, that's it. But some students also complain about me. See, lecturer don't give a lot of things, don't go according to the text and every sub-heading and all these things. I cannot satisfy everybody. But when I look back into the so-called the more advanced system of teaching, how certain company, how certain university do it, especially those with teachers, the lecturer actually don't teach. They are the facilitator, that's all. They give you the topics, you go and read up, you go and do research, you come back, lecturer will give you maybe some problem discussion. I'm not sure whether did I tell you in your class Sem 1 to watch that particular movie one? No.
It was
Sorry?
cross-cultural psychology.
Sorry?
Cross-cultural psychology.
No, that movie. A series movie, if you have a time, but don't waste your time, You go and watch That movie, ladies will like it one, because it's a love story. It's called Love Story in Harvard. Is it Love Story in Harvard? I cannot remember really. It's 1990 something movie, I think. Is it Love Story or Love in Harvard? Let me see. H-A-R-V-A-R-D. Before I end the lesson, I must let you know during your free time sometime. Is it Love Story in Harvard?
Hmm?
Yeah, Love Story in Harvard. Love Story in Harvard, yes. If you have the opportunity, I think it's only 10 or 15 episodes and so on. It's a 2004 movie one, Love Story in Harvard. Because you're too young, I can't
Korean
watch
drama.
I watched it, I think it was 2004. That time 2004, you must be only, I think, about 4 years old. Of course, you don't even know what is love, ma. You not even follow, ma. And I tell you, that was a very beautiful story. I want you to see it's not because of the love story, lah. Partially because of the story, partially because of the way how Harvard, you know, very famous one, how they conduct their classes. And you can see how competitive the environment. Yeah? And one of the main actor, the guy, he got, I think, a master degree or he got a bachelor degree or something, you know, some in already from Korea, very high ranking university. Go to Harvard because he want to get exposed more. He went there, he found out, oh my goodness, the way of conducting classes and all this for, I think, master degree one or something, completely different. Completely different. You watch before? When you're free lah, TV, I think you can see the series, I don't know. Of course, girl would like it, guy would like it lah, because now Korean way, that's why I go for this movie to let you know, see. Then you can appreciate the way how advanced countries are conducting their classes. No more spoon feeding. So hopefully you all can slowly get used to it. Because in the work environment, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to face the same thing. Boss has problem, you solve it. In the past, when you have problem, job problem, boss will try to work very closely, give you some guideline. Now the new way, problem, you solve it. The boss will tell you one thing. This is what I learned from the Western, I work for a different company. The Western boss told us, why I hire you? I hire you to solve problem. If you want me to give you a solution, then why I hire you? Be prepared, So I'm trying to groom our student in that direction. So hopefully, you are slowly get used to that kind of thing. If not, many Malaysian students go to work cannot survive. A lot of complaint from the industry. Luckily, not so much on help from the industry. Number one, student cannot present. No, because we also have a company, about 40 over company joining our top university. We have an industrial board meeting one. Every year, one time or 2 times. I also seen, I know. So they talk about that. Many university students cannot communicate, cannot talk, cannot present. Command of English, terrible. Okay? And come to problem, especially fresh graduates say that, I never learned it in university, my lecturer never teach me anything. No, it was highlighted. To the boss, they don't care. You cannot say, I never learned this subject before, I don't know. The boss said, I hire you, you go and solve the problem. You don't know, you go and find a solution. And when you find a solution, be careful, don't keep only one solution, Always remember what I'm telling you today here. When you see the boss, you tell him, boss, I think to solve this thing, I maybe got 2 or 3 alternatives. And you must know this alternative compared to that one, what is the advantages, what is the disadvantage. This one, and compare the advantages. You must analyze everything, then only you go and see the boss. You go with the solution, you think this is the best solution. Boss will ask you, do you think this is the best solution? You cannot say yes. If you say no, then why the boss say why you didn't look for another solution? You also get bullet, Take my words. as we go along, I will share with you more areas how the how the IO can help you understanding of IO. Sometimes very harsh one, very sad one. Because I was in HR, I know sometimes I can terminate employee, the boss tell me one word, this person, I want him, terminate him, I die already. I have to be very creative how to terminate him without getting company into trouble. You study HR, you know what, industrial relation. That's why second assignment is industrial relation on the law one. I just read to you, then I end the class today. The second assignment, I will give you know industrial relation, right? HRM, you know. Okay, second assignment, very challenging, that's why it's a group assignment, no? I will give you every person 30 industrial court award cases. Not like Najib one, Najib one sometimes you long pages, a lot of things you don't understand one. This one is, sometimes the award can be 5 pages, sometimes 20 pages. You will get the next one, sometimes maybe 30 pages. Initially you will find it a hard time to understand, but as you read the first one, and you watch Korean movies, first Korean movie you cannot speak Korean, then you wow, susah lah, when you watch second time, next time you watch a few times, you don't understand Korean, you still can understand the movie one. Correct? Same thing. Every student will be given 30 cases. Based on the 30 cases, I will tell you what you need to analyze. Very challenging, huh? But I have no choice. Because many students, after taking this subject, after going through the assignment, they appreciate it. They say, oh, I didn't know that the real world is like this. There's no point you study IO at the end, you cannot understand it when you see something. Okay?
Okay.
Good. I will see you
Next week.
next week, no? Unless you have any question, no?
Next week no class.
Next week,
Next week no class. Wednesday,
Oh, 31st
31st.
already,
Yeah.
Oh, nice, huh?
Nice.
At least I do my job today.
Yeah.